Thanks for joining us again on Packer Avenue. Today we are in Fishtown. We are visiting a place that has a very long tradition in Philadelphia. Started in 1949 in Northeast Philadelphia, Chink's Steaks. Now this was like way back at the beginning of the steaks. They started in 1930 at Pat's. They were around in 1949. We're going to meet and talk to the owner. He bought the place in 1999, and the current owner actually started working there when he was 16 years old. The place is about 70 years old now. New location here in Fishtown at number 1 Girard Avenue. To join us on this historical romp into Joe's Steaks and Soda Shop. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and make sure you tell a friend. We'll see you inside. So as promised, we are here at a really traditional place. It's been here since 1949, but we're here with the current owner. I'd like to introduce you to Joe Rowe. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us today. My understanding, it started back in 1949.
That's correct.
And you actually worked there as an adolescent, it says.
I was 16 years old.
Okay.
And if you look up there, there's a picture of me when I'm 18.
Okay.
So that's how, at the original location.
The Joe Shrine.
I got a job there, peeling onions, cutting meat, cutting cheese. They were very demanding. It was a 7-day-a-week job. It was only 2 hours a day. You'll be able to go out and enjoy it, right? But that was the case.
Yeah, it was a different world then
after
too.
2 weeks, I was ready to pack it in because I'll tell you a quick story. I'm in high school and I'm sitting there, and the girl's sitting next to me, and she says to me, "Do you smell onions?" I'm like, "No, I don't smell onions," but the onions that were all over, you can't get that smell out of you. But I worked for the original owner. His name was Samuel Sherman until he passed away in 1997. Then I had the opportunity a year and a half later to buy it off his wife, and I ran that place at, in the Northeast Philadelphia in the Wissinoming section until 2020, 2 years ago, 2022. We closed it in September of that year. This is our 9th full year here.
Okay.
And it's been a challenge, but we're doing well, and we're getting out of the old original name. We're getting into the Joe's name, and when people think of our sandwich, they think of Joe's now, not the original.
Not Chink's,
not
right?
Chink's.
Chink's Steaks.
2004, we got protested. I was on the front page of the Daily News twice in 6 months. You
really
asked for that free advertising.
Only in Philadelphia,
right?
Cheese steak.
I had to go to court, and basically the city of Philadelphia said to me, "We don't like your name, but we can't force you to change it." So that ended right there. Okay. I hired a PR company, and I said, "Name it anything but Joe's," and look what happened.
So it expanded quite a bit because at the beginning it was just steak.
It was just
sandwiches,
steak,
onions or no onions?
With or without onions. Okay. He had a burger. He had a hot dog on there, a sausage on there. But back in that era, nobody ate cheese. Maybe 2005, that's the original way we had it. We never changed anything.
Okay.
And then my general manager, who you met, Stephanie Lee, she convinced me that, you know what, you need to do provolone, you need to do cheese whiz. And I was an advocate of not doing cheese whiz because I hated it. I didn't like it. But we did it, and it's probably our most popular sandwich now.
How many? Because Pat's was the originator in the 30s.
Correct.
Okay.
And Chink, I don't know if you noticed, Chink worked for the original owner, Pat's.
Oh, that's a bit of information I did not know.
Right. He worked there before the war.
Okay.
Then he went away when the war came out. So when he came back from the war, he said, let's open up a place.
That's awesome.
And he opened up in the Northeast.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk.
Oh, my pleasure.
I'm really looking forward to tasting your no frills. Is that a good way of explaining that?
Nah, I wouldn't say no frills. Authentic.
Authentic. Okay.
It's authentic cheesesteak. Other people do it other ways. I do it my way.
Yeah.
And I think being here over 70 some years, the test of time has worked for us.
Yeah.
Because my way is a good way. Yeah. And I was taught by the best.
You're carrying on the tradition.
And so I'm trying to carry on here.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, you're doing a great job, obviously, of carrying on the tradition. Thank you so much for sharing your time
my pleasure.
and your story with us.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
And now I look forward to trying the authentic.
Do you like onions?
I love onions.
There you go. We're gonna make you one.
All right. Okay, so a big shout out. Absolutely great story. Joe Grove, present owner, started working at a steak shop when he was 16 years old in high school. Wound up buying the business several years later, moving it from the Northeast down here to Fishtown. still, I think the really cool thing about this is the simplicity. You know, on our last trip, we were looking at cheesesteaks with scrapple. We were looking at cheesesteaks with sausage in it. We had the filthy at with and without. This is like really going back to basics. And it's like when in talking to Joe, like they were doing just steaks with onions or without onions. I think he's real old school, generally speaking. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is an old school, not chip chop.
You'll never see a pile of meat cooking unless we're making your sandwich.
So those are really nice, good bite-sized pieces in there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, we don't chop it. We just kind of let it cook on the grill. And depending on like the fat placement of the piece of meat, it might fall apart a little bit. But that's just the natural cooking of the meat.
That is, I think, the gentlest touch on a grilled cheesesteak that I think I've ever seen. So, going in for the bite, not doing the cut on this. I'm going directly with the hot peppers from the very beginning. And I think that first bite is going to be a pretty simple bite. Actually, I'm going to take that end pepper out. So we've got like pure steak to start. That's nice. That's about as simple as you can get. And it's really interesting. This is the first steak I've had with American. Like Cooper, it can be argued, is this upscale kind of an American cheese. This is a really nice, pure taste. Steak is really tender, obviously. It's the ribeye. Saw it getting put on the grill. Nice, fresh, great color. And again, Stephanie has that really light touch on the grill, which gives you these really nice steak bites. This is definitely a pure cheesesteak.
Thank you. All of our sandwiches are made with love.
One thing is the onions are not actually mixed in. I've got a good layer of onions. I haven't quite gotten to those yet. Okay, so they get a little, bread gets a little grill action, just to get them nice and warm.
Okay. Nice little crunch on the outside, nice and soft and gooey on the inside.
Now I absolutely have to go in with the pepper bite.
It was poignant because like that's I was doing just that. The next thing I was like 1 a.m. and I'm like I made a joke about this like hours ago. Now here I am.
These hot cherry peppers are like something kind of just grew up with eating cheesesteaks. And they have a great little spice. I know they're not for everybody, but for me personally, these hot red cherry peppers are like a must on one of these cheesesteaks, especially something as simple as this. And I don't mean that as a bad way, but that combination, it's just crazy. It's like, that's a healthy sandwich. And I think the real beauty of this is the simplicity in it. Like I said, it's not crammed with a lot of different flavors. They're basic, perfect flavors. And again, for me, with those hot peppers, and I just got a beautiful bite. You got like the onion coming through. Next bite, so we've got cheese, we've got steak, we've got onion, we've got cherry pepper. And this just keeps getting better. Like the further you get into it, it's like that condemned thing. Not all the way down to the end of the sandwich, but these cheeses are all coming together in the middle with the cheese, the onions. It's really pretty amazing. And I did not put mayo on this one. These are great, the cherry peppers. We need to get these in Germany. Oh, look at that. Here we come. Big juicy bite. In addition to like the simplicity of this sandwich, you can just really taste the freshness like from top to bottom. The Liscio rolls, I mean, they do a great job of like providing the entire Delaware Valley with rolls. It seems like everywhere you go, Liscio seems to be like the forerunner these days. I know it used to be Amoroso and stuff, but I feel like almost every sandwich I eat now uses the Liscio roll for the foundation. Joe's really doing it, sticking to the basics, sticking to tradition, sticking to the way it was taught to him. This is like a long lineage, starting with like Pat's, the originator of the cheesesteak, Chink or Sam Sherman. Direct lineage, having worked at Pat's when he was younger. Went away to the war, came back and did it. And we were eating like kind of a little bite of history, actually. I love the bite. I love that they're keeping it simple. You want a straight up, nice, traditional, authentic, like from the 30s type bite. Come to Joe's, they're doing it up great. Yeah, and while this used to be just Chink Steaks, Joe has turned this into Joe's Steaks and Soda Shop. So there's a lot of offerings, not getting into the ice cream aspect of this today, but there is one thing that's really special about being back in the Delaware Valley, being home. We have a lot of different flavored sodas that you just don't find everywhere. Like vanilla cream soda is like an #1, one of my favorites. Black cherry soda, cherry Coke, and this is my favorite. We've got birch beer. And it's hard to explain. It's like there's root beer, so it's got that kind of hint to it, but it's like a sweeter, lighter, cherrier version of root beer. And birch beer is like one of my favorites, and you can find it right here at Joe's. They pair together so well. Birch beer and cheesesteak. Gosh darn it, it was really great being here today. It was really nice to meet Joe. It was really nice to talk a little bit with Stephanie and try out this real authentic cheesesteak here at Joe's Steak and Soda Shop, right on the corner of Frankfurt and Girard Avenue. Give it a shot. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and make sure you tell a friend, and we'll see you again real soon on Packer Avenue.